welcome in. Welcome to the weekend. My name is Valerie, and this is going to be a reading for the weekend, which this weekend includes a full moon in Aries, which has a lot of things going on with it. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown on that so that you can get an idea of what you're going to be looking at this weekend, and then we'll do a reading to see, what cards come out. But this full moon in Aries is conjunct with Chiron in Aries, and this aspect is going to be illuminating our identity wound. So the self, the I, who am I, any wounds around that. It removes the false ego, so anything that is not authentically you has the opportunity to be released this weekend, which is beautiful. But it can be somewhat raw and vulnerable. So it might feel a bit uncomfortable. It might be a bit triggering, but the opportunity in it is wonderful. It brings a new level of courage and being who we truly are. So that's a beautiful thing. At the same time, we've got the sun in Libra opposite the moon in Aries, and the sun in Libra is conjunct with Venus in Libra. So this aspect will have us maybe projecting our identity wound a bit outwardly towards others, but in a way that's going to help bring balance, because it's going to bring about a deepening of our relationships with others. So if Aries is I, Libra is we. So it's sort of this balancing of the self and the we, or you and others. So that's a really wonderful opportunity that we have. There's a lot of other things going on astrologically during this full moon as well. I'm not an astrologer, so I'm just going to touch on a few of the themes. But if you want a more in-depth analysis, I recommend checking out Molly McCord's channel. I'm going to put a link in the description box. I just think she does a beautiful job of explaining the transits in a way that's really easy to understand. So definitely check her out. So some of the other aspects that are happening is Mercury is trine Pluto, which is going to be supporting our mental concentration for completing projects, getting things done, as well as powerful communication. So, if we're talking about balancing this, Libra sun with the Chiron Aries full moon, the ability to communicate our wounds to others so that we can deepen these connections. This Mercury trine Pluto is going to support that. We also have Mars in Gemini, which is trine Saturn, which brings further support for focus and getting things done. But it can also lead us to kind of act before thinking. So it's important to just be careful that we think through our actions before we're taking them. The sun is also trine Saturn, which is supporting new beginnings. So there's a lot of really fresh energy available to us to get things done, to do new things. So it's really exciting. There's also an air grand trine, which is going to happen 3 times this month. But with this, we'll see things opening up to us that we didn't see before. Like, it's showing us what's possible, other possibilities that we may not have considered. To top that off, Venus brings in people and connections to support these possibilities. So, it's not just ideas. It's with the energy of Venus, there's real possibilities of connections with people that can help bring these possibilities about. And Mars is going to bring in the energy for action on the possibilities. So this is really beautiful if you're following, these ideas coming in, people supporting the ideas, the energy for the action on the ideas, and then Mercury comes in with more ideas and people and communication. So this is really a recipe for effortless connections and flow that can culminate in real stable and tangible things. So that's my quick rundown. But like I said, check out Molly's channel. She goes more in depth and explains it in more detail, and I think that might be a support to you. So let's go ahead and get in. We'll do a reading and just kind of see what we can see for this weekend in the cards. Well, first card, Many Masks, the Authentic Self. Isn't that exactly what we were just talking about? letting go of all of these masks. Anything that is not authentically you has the possibility of being released during this full moon. So that's wonderful. Happy to see that on the table. All right, what else can we see for this weekend and this full moon? All right, we get Dream Thief, refusal of the call. Yeah, so definitely needing to not shy away from, this call to your higher self, to releasing these masks, these inauthentic aspects of ourself, the call to be vulnerable with other people and to share in our experience as we transmute this pain. I mean, the thing is, our pain, our wounds, they are the portal to our healing. They're the portal to possibilities. They're a portal to our freedom. And if we shy away from looking at them, touching them, processing them, we're going to stay stuck in this inauthentic self, and basically in our own suffering. So, and the next card, Stars in the Sky, Limitless Possibility. Yeah, as we were just talking about, this is going to show us so many more possibilities than we ever even imagined. We're going to see a lot of new things that maybe we didn't consider before. So on the bottom of the deck, and I don't usually look at the bottom of this deck, but I see we have Will-O-the-Wisp, treasure hidden in the shadows. I'm going to put that out here because exactly what we're just talking about, these shadows are the opportunity for our healing and our freedom. That is the treasure that lies in the shadows. And we have to be willing to risk going into our own shadows so that we can heal those aspects of ourselves and come to life with a more authentic version of ourselves where we're free to be ourselves and to express ourselves. Let's just get some Osho Zen cards to support these and see what else we can see a little deeper. Many masks. We get conditioning. Yeah, exactly. And really, the inauthentic self, the masks, those are often, from conditioning, like things that we've been told or picked up from family, from media, from even religious groups, dogmas and that sort of thing. Not saying religions are bad. That's not at all what I'm saying. But sometimes it becomes a bit dogmatic and less practical and tangible, where we're living from ideal, saying that we support ideals, but not actually living them in our everyday experience. So in any case, all this conditioning, having the courage, to be this lion and not be one of these sheep, right? To be authentically ourselves, to individuate, and show ourselves so that we can play the role that we were sent here to play in this time, in this place. We all have a purpose and we all have a unique flavor to bring to the mix. And, if we're stuck behind a mask and conditioning, we're not answering that call. We're not living from a true and authentic place. So let's see what else we get. Clinging to the past. Yeah, exactly. So, often this refusal of the call is because we're clinging to the past, something that's familiar, even if it's dysfunctional or uncomfortable. We're clinging to it because it's familiar and in a way safe. But it's also keeping us stuck and stagnant and unhappy and in our heads and not in our, life. So needing to let go of the past and move forward, this is also victimhood mentality, right? Overly identifying with our wounds in a way that they become, like we allow them to become us. But we are not our wounds. We are this beautiful, amazing creature that was, incarnated in this life. And we are that thing that's underneath all of the wounds and conditioning and things that have happened to us. And so it's about a shedding. It's about unlearning. It's about, you know, removing all of these false things so that we can emerge our true selves, and heal from things that have happened in the past. Let's see what else we get. Many stars in the sky. Completion. Yeah, becoming whole within ourselves. You know, filling our own voids with truth, and you know, being complete and solid and within ourselves. No more missing pieces. So I'm noticing the way that there's all of these, you know, lines from the puzzle pieces, and it makes me think of, you know, like cracks and fissures, and that's where the light gets in. You know, so the ways that we have been broken apart and had to, you know, put ourselves back together again, and it seems like this is the culmination of, you know, or a possibility to really heal some deep wounds once and for all. Not to say that we're not gonna, you know, have other layers of things to focus on at other points, but there does seem to be a huge opportunity here for a major up-leveling and expansion and healing, becoming whole. And then we get traveling. So I take this, you know, this would be like the Eight of Wands. I just take this as moving forward on our path, and moving forward passionately with inspiration. I think with all of these new ideas of possibilities coming in, you know, it's opening up new pathways for us to walk, that we may have never ever considered before. And on the bottom of this deck, we get beyond illusion. Yeah, really getting clear and going through this transformation here with this butterfly. There's, with this air grand trine, you know, this is a very mental energy in the mind space. So clearing out all of the thought patterns and things that no longer serve us, all of this conditioning, so that we can move forward. Let's see. Let's just get some tarot and see if there's anything else that we can see. We get the Strength in reverse. Exactly what I was talking about here, you know, needing to have this courage and this strength to overcome this conditioning. So important to focus on being strong at this time, and knowing that you have the strength within you. Yeah, Judgment, which is actually absolutely answering the call. This is the call of judgment, you know, to make that choice to rise up, to free yourself. That's beautiful. So it looks like, you know, maybe we're feeling a little wobbly about it, or unsure about whether we're strong enough, but we're, you know, this is in the upright. So here we're taking that step towards answering the call. What else can we see? Yeah, Eight of Cups. Walking away from things that no longer serve us, walking onto our spiritual path, and moving towards the Empress. Abundance, beauty, you know, strength, stability, creativity, divine feminine. Whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. This is about that open receptivity, this creativity, this, you know, energy that creates things in this world and births new and beautiful things. Is very nurturing. I see this full moon up here. Yeah, this is beautiful, beautiful energy. Anything else that we can see? Show me the Strength in reverse. How can we work with this? Strength in reverse. Yeah, the moon. Use this moon, use this full moon to your full advantage to cultivate this strength. Drop into your emotions. Allow yourself to feel the things that you're feeling so that you can heal them and move through them. In this particular moon card, and I think most of them have, it's got a black wolf and a white wolf. So which one are you going to feed? You know, the light or the dark. And also it's about the duality, the bringing of balance to the two things, right? Because we all have dark and light within us. You know, so bringing those two things into harmony with the Libra sun, you know, there's that real energy of support there for bringing in balance. So needing to lean into that, to let go, to open ourselves up and allow ourselves to be moved and cracked open so that the light can get in. It's beautiful. Yeah, we got 9 of Wands. Perseverance. Standing strong in our conviction. With our, you know, passion behind us, driving us forward. Setting healthy boundaries with people too. You know, knowing our worth. Just persevering here. And we get the 7 of Cups in reverse. You know, letting go of all the confusion. Finally choosing, you know, which way we want to go. Walk forward to the light. She's walking here to the sun that's on the horizon. And then we get the Emperor. Holy mackerel. So this is complete balance of divine feminine, divine masculine energy where you're in your power. You know, you're moving forward with this Aries action. This is the Aries card. So with the Aries full moon, you know, doing that. And this Empress is Libra. So this is perfect. You know, this speaks exactly to this particular full moon and the potential for it to bring in so much balance in your masculine and feminine energy, as well as drawing in connections that are balanced. You know, perhaps this is a divine counterpart that's available to you in this, you know, full moon cycle. As you bring balance to yourself, as you open up and deepen connections with others, this is the potential that's here and available. The bottom of this deck, we get death and rebirth. So this transformation is definitely happening. Definitely. This is wonderful. I wanted to get one card. This is a deck called Mirror Cards, and it's supposed to be a powerful tool for enhancing relationships. And what it really is about, you know, like what are your relationships mirroring back to you? And so I thought that would be really good with this particular full moon, sun in Libra, where relationships are playing a huge part in what we're doing right now, just to see, you know, what are our relationships mirroring back to us during this transit? What's being mirrored back to us in our relationships during this transit? Thank you. We get responsibility in reverse. Okay. I'm going to read that from the book. Some really powerful descriptions in here. In reverse, it says, guilt is an emotion that we have developed to control one another, and all it does is increase the negativity in the world. You're probably feeling guilty or overly responsible for someone else's feelings. Even if you have done or said something that was hurtful, you need to separate the things for which you are responsible from those for which you are not. This may be hard for you for 2 reasons. The first is your belief that good people have a sense of conscience. The second is that by thinking you're responsible for others and how they feel, you can avoid taking responsibility for yourself. In other words, you don't have to look inside and be courageous enough to follow your own heart. What you may need to realize is that guilt is a distortion of responsibility. Not only does it hang the head and sap the spirit, it seeps through the bones, taking away any possibility of joy. Thinking it's all your fault is of absolutely no benefit to you or anyone else. Instead of shrouding yourself in guilt and blaming yourself for all you've done, learn to take healthy responsibility. First, accept your part in the situation and connect with the feelings of hurt you may have triggered in yourself and others. Next, express your regret unconditionally. Finally, let it go, even if someone else doesn't want you to. Punishing yourself is every bit as reprehensible as punishing someone else. Ooh. Yeah, so this is showing us the guilt that we have, that we're carrying with us, and the way that we are taking responsibility for other people's feelings instead of taking responsibility for our own. That is incredibly deep, and that wound is very prevalent among us all, you know. I mean, it's very easy to focus on others and not on our own self and take responsibility for ourselves. And we do often, you know, beat ourselves up for things that we've done in the past, and you know, trying to say we should have done this, should have done that. Let it go. You know, forgive yourself. Forgive others. It's sapping your joy and your peace. Let's see. What other guidance can we get? That's too many cards. Let's try that again. Guidance, please, for this weekend and full moon. We get ears wide open and smoke and mirrors. Let's see the quick descriptions on these. Ears wide open says, deep listening as a gift we give to others, understanding someone else's needs, showing focused attention, tuning into another, and letting go of the ego's need to be heard. So yeah, when we're talking about relationships and the way that, you know, there's going to be some balancing coming through this full moon for relationships, this is definitely, you know, a call to listen and to not allow our egos to get involved in, you know, the conversation. Really being an open ear and creating space for other people to help them. You know, we're doing this in tandem, right? We're each working through our individual wounds together. So, you know, allowing space for other people as they work through their wounds too. And Smoke and Mirrors says, seeing through the lens of past conditioning, the inability to recognize the truth of what is being offered, healing from misguided perceptions, moving beyond the illusion of separation, being accountable for our biases and the way you view the world. And that's exactly what we were talking about with this conditioning and clinging to the past, you know, seeing through a lens of past conditioning. And here with the ears wide open, talking about hearing other people and holding space for them as they move through their things, you know, moving beyond the illusion of separation. So understanding that we are all one, we are all going through these same things at different times. We may have different experiences, but we're all healing similar wounds, you know, wounds of abandonment, wounds of feeling not good enough. You know, even more existential wounds of like, why am I here feeling, you know, separate from everyone and different and that sort of thing. And really struggling with, you know, how do I fit into this? What's the whole meaning of all of this? And if we can hold space for one another and work through this together, I think that we can come to a place of peaceful resolution. And the more that we, you know, project our own wounds onto other people, You know, and our programming for that matter creates biases that create more division. It's not helpful. It's hard to see the truth of things, you know, when we have all of this programming and divisiveness and things standing between us. So, you know, I think this is talking about, you know, really listening to other people, holding space for their experiences as well as your own, and taking responsibility for your own healing, your own actions. And while you hold space for other people and their feelings and what they're going through, you don't take responsibility for that. You know, you just create a space for them to work through with their things and to feel accepted and loved unconditionally no matter what they're going through. That what they're going through does not need your judgment. That's not what this judgment is about. This is about answering your own call to heal, your own path forward. And that's not being judgmental of yourself either. This is about having compassion for everyone, you and other. This is really wonderful. Okay, one more card of guidance from the Starseed Oracle. Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, Look a Little Deeper. Let's read that. It says, the ancients knew much more than we do about our connection with the stars. Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship, created in precise alignment with the stars, exist in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available for you to uncover now? You're being called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul, to tap into the part of you that remembers and knows. All ancient secrets are whispered forever in your ears. All mystic knowing blooms in your heart. All potent power pumps through your veins. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the rememberings of the star ancestors, to look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong, when we do the unexpected. So often a creative solution is right in front of us. But because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what's in the open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions, technology and wisdom that are so needed on the planet right now. To unlock your soul's memories of a time when we lived in harmony on Earth and one day will again. Yeah, we're just talking about, you know, harmonizing by creating more unity, by removing otherness. And we were talking here about this Empress and this creativity that is just wanting to burst forth, and the action energy available to us through this full moon to bring those things into reality. And, you know, it says also we need to see things from a new perspective. And what we're talking about here with the smoke and mirrors, you know, letting go of our old ways of thinking and things that we've so long held as the truth, because look at where they've gotten us, you know? It's time for a new perspective. It's time to shift those wounds, to let go of that mask, let it slip so that you can emerge as your true self. And, you know, I was talking too about, you know, remembering that inner being that you came here to be before all of the conditioning, before all of the wounds. You know, this card is calling for that remembrance, to shed all of these layers of things that are no longer serving us, to walk away from that. You have the courage, you have the strength. You know, you've got the ability to persevere here because you are at your core the divine feminine, the divine masculine. So that's what I've got for this weekend, this full moon. This is extremely powerful energy. I really think this is a huge portal of opportunity for us. And I hope that you'll spend some time thinking about this and leaning into it, and keeping your ears open and keeping your heart open and opening yourself up in relationship with others, being vulnerable and taking that risk, and offering the same space for others, so that we can all heal together. So I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week.